say I'ma kill it. Jab to the mouth, then the shot to the liver.
Ooh.
Her man wanna take me to dinner.
Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about Remy Ma, and I also want to talk about Claressa Shields, the GWOAT herself. And I'm going to do a fight breakdown for these two. It's going to be an adjusted fight breakdown, quite obviously. But nonetheless, it's going to be a fight breakdown. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time right now. Subscribe to the channel. It literally takes one click. Also, if you could, hit the thumbs up button. It shows love and it supports this channel. So we're going to do an adjusted fight breakdown. So basically, I'm not going to run through my regular list of attributes because clearly Claressa Shields would knock Remy Ma out the water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on experience. I'm going to focus on power. I'm going to focus on dog. I'm going to focus on danger. And I'm going to focus on mental toughness. So when it comes to experience, obviously, Claressa Shields is going to take the cake. I mean, she is a two-time Olympian. She's a gold medalist 2 times. She has won belts in every weight class that she's ever been in. She just moved up recently to another weight class where she basically beat the living tar out of that lady. It wasn't even close. So, and she dropped her. Let's see. So there's not much to say for Remy Ma. Clearly, she has some experience because she is a lot older than Claressa Shields. And she has stated several times, I've been fighting all my life. I've loved boxing. I've been watching boxing all my life. I'm really good at beating girls up. This is what she said several times. And there are several credible people who would attest to the fact that when it comes to throwing hands, she's no stranger and she's good at it. Not to mention she's had a jail sentence, or she's had a prison sentence that she completed. And she said the whole time, I was beating girls up in there. Nothing new to me to throw my hands. But because of the accolades of Claressa Shields, clearly she's going to get it. Now, if you want to talk about longevity and length of time, clearly you would give it to the older person, Remy Ma. But we're talking about the actual accolades. So Claressa Shields. Now, what's next? Power. Well, Claressa Shields has never really been known as a power puncher, but moving up in weight, she's hitting a lot harder. So, and like I said, she just recently dropped an opponent who was a heavyweight. So maybe, you know, this added weight, she's a lot stronger. Now, Remy Ma is also not the smallest or most petite woman in the world. And she has stated several times she's used to beating up big girls. And when she was on the reality show, she was beating up bigger girls. So again, it's nothing new to see her fight somebody or fight somebody who's bigger. Once she gets in that state, it seems like she's in that state. But another thing about Remy Ma, well, I guess I'm going to touch on that later. But gotta go with Claressa Shields once again because it's actually something tangible that we can watch, we can witness, we can go to YouTube and we can press play. Now I'm going to go with dog. Who's got more dog? When push comes to shove, who's gonna go the extra mile? So there's only really one fight that I've seen Claressa Shields where she had to like step on the gas, and that was her fight with Savannah Marshall. And she flat out said that Savannah Marshall was the hardest puncher that she ever faced. She also said that she was hit so hard that she literally saw 3 Savannah Marshalls in there and for the duration of the fight, and that all 3 of them were blurry. So yeah, she's definitely faced some adversity. I mean, she's been down, and again, she literally couldn't see, you know, her opponent clearly. But when you talk about adversity, Remy Ma has gone to prison. She's been in there with murderers. She's been in there with not nice people. She's been in there with people who would literally, you know, do something very bad to you while you sleep or while you're awake. She's probably been in situations just in general where there were maybe not riots, because I don't really know much about women's prison. I don't know if they'd be doing riots or anything like that. But I imagine there were a lot of situations where there were more than one person was fighting multiple people. I'm pretty sure she had seen that several times. And it takes a certain type of personality to deal with that. And the whole time she said that she'd been fighting the whole time while she was locked up. So, you know, it just goes to so, all right, you know, granted, I can't see this, and I don't necessarily think with her personality that I'm exaggerating anything. She flat out said she was fighting the whole time. And she flat out said she's just comfortable with the violence. She's just comfortable with a physical altercation. It doesn't really bother her. She's been doing it long enough, and now it just doesn't bother her. But because Claressa Shields faced adversity with trained boxers, skilled boxers like Savannah Marshall, who hit hard like Savannah Marshall, got up and beat Savannah Marshall, who was undefeated at the time. Yeah, I'm going to go with Claressa Shields, of course. Now, mental toughness. Who's more mentally tough? Well, let's see. I'm going to make an argument for both of them. I think you have Claressa Shields, who is, all I have to say is GWOAT. She's done everything in the sport of boxing. Well, women's sport. She's done everything. Claressa Shields could literally walk away right now with nothing else to prove, nothing else to do. Literally, she could stay in MMA permanently, full time. She can move over to kickboxing and all she cares. Like, there's nothing else she can do in the sport of boxing. Mental toughness. It takes a lot to get there, right? Mental toughness. She's called out everybody. She's not afraid of anybody. She'll meet them in their weight class. Mental toughness. Now you have Remy Ma. I think it takes a certain level of mental toughness for somebody to say, I don't even do this for a living, but I'll meet you there. That's mental toughness. I think it shows a certain level of mental toughness for someone to do some bodily harm to somebody, which is the reason why she was put in prison. Do some bodily harm to somebody, let her hammer go in public, and then face the charges and walk into the prison, and then walk into the prison as a celebrity, and then face whatever challenges come her way. And she says she was open for all of them. So mental toughness, I'm actually going to give that one a tie. I think, yes, Claressa Shields has faced everything under the sun in the boxing ring. But just in life, I think Remy Ma has faced harsher conditions. Why? Because her freedom was literally taken from her. And it didn't break her. Mental toughness. Everything was taken away from her. Literally, everything was taken away from her. At night, the doors closed and she couldn't open it. Mental toughness. You know what that does to you? You know what that does to your mind when your freedom is taken away from you? When you're treated like an animal? When you're caged in like an animal, like a dog? Mental toughness. And she came out seemingly okay. I mean, she came out, she was making music. She came out smiling, came out, lost weight. She seemed to be in great spirits. I got to say, that's mental toughness. To not let the conditions or the harsh conditions of where you're at succumb you. That's mental toughness. That is mental toughness. When I say mental toughness, that is what I'm talking about. Facing adversity and coming out on the other side unscathed. That is mental toughness. Yeah, I think her time incarcerated shows more mental toughness than Claressa Shields rising up the ranks. I actually do. I think she was in there with some very violent people. There are some very violent people in there. So yes, I actually do. I think that shows mental toughness on her part. I actually do. So I would give her mental toughness. Last but not least, my favorite category, you already know what it is. Danger. Who's more dangerous? Well, clearly in a ring, it's going to be Claressa Shields. But, like I said, at some point, I just kind of feel like these two are going to run into each other. It could be at a nightclub. It could be at some banquet, some event. It could be at an award show. They could be going to the BET Awards. I don't know. I just feel like at some point, they're going to physically run into each other. And neither personality strikes me as the type of personality that says, hey, where's the back door? They don't strike me as that. Claressa Shields definitely doesn't strike me as that. And Remy Ma definitely doesn't strike me as that. And I don't feel like they walk around with the type of entourages that would suggest, where's the back door? I know Remy Ma doesn't. So it just leads me to say, who's more dangerous? Well, what sent Remy Ma to prison? like, look at her charges. Her charges aren't light charges. Her charges are not light charges. And what she did in public. That's got to tell you something about her, or about her personality. About if there's a situation or a moment or something is to happen, I'm all in. I'm locked in. I am completely and fully 100% engaged in this conversation, engaged in this situation. I'm engaged, and we can do this. Here, there, anywhere, it doesn't matter. That's what it says about her. Now you look at Claressa Shields. She's the GWOAT. Like that. I mean, it might sound simple in saying she's the GWOAT, But the fact that she's a 2-time gold medalist, there's nothing simple about that. That means everyone in the world who was the best of the best in a particular weight class in women's boxing, she faced them and she beat them, not once but twice. Undisputed, multiple weight classes, beat everybody. Beat everybody. See, here's the difference between Claressa Shields and a lot of other boxers, including males. She has a lot of people on her resume who were undefeated prior to her. It wasn't like she's beating up scrubs. It wasn't like she's beating up bums or taxi drivers or anything like that. No. She was beating up people who were winners, champions, knockout artists, Christina Hammer. And then you look at what she's doing. She's dangerous. But is she more dangerous than Remy Ma? In a ring, yeah, in a ring. But Remy Ma was faced with conditions where people didn't just have their fists. They had other objects, if you know what I mean. I can't say much because of the channel, but I think you all get what I'm trying to say. And she faced those situations. She doesn't strike me as the type of person who stayed in her cell for 24 hours a day. She doesn't strike me as that type of person. She also doesn't strike me as the type of person that if you challenge her, she'll buckle. She doesn't strike me as that. She doesn't strike me as the type of person, if you call her out, she won't respond. She doesn't strike me as that. Danger? I think Remy Ma is actually more dangerous, to be honest with you. I think she's more dangerous. I think these two are going to meet at some point. I think somebody at some point might even throw up a lump sum of money. But I think these two are going to walk into each other at one point in stage in time. Yeah, it all started because of, a lover's quarrel. But now it's morphed into something else, and it's morphed into something personal. And quite frankly, I think it's morphed into something that can't be solved with words. And I'm all for an exhibition. I'm all for these two putting on some gloves. Why not? I think it's fun. I mean, we see the KSIs, so why not? Like, honestly, at this stage, why not? Anything goes in boxing. I'm for it. Drop your thoughts down below.